scratches. Something has been moved through here. This seems to be a locking mechanism. The whole thing must be a door.
will make them pay for what they did to Heidi.
I found Hell's Door, the one that made the foreigners silent, remember? How do I open it? Gerda, please, I cannot get inside. You have to tell me how to open it.
How can you speak to me like nothing's wrong? Can't you hear Heidi crying? Look at her! Look! She's suffering. I can't even hear my thoughts over her screams. Poor Heidi. We will fix you. I promise. We will fix you!
Leave it with me, Gerda. Garments of several dozen people at least. I'd rather not sit in this chair ever again. Will this help fix your friend?
Give it to me.
How is she feeling?
Everything will be all right, Heidi. Everything.
Gerda, I have a couple of questions.
Yes,
Shut your dirty little mouth, Gerda. You've said enough already. She won't speak no more. Now it's only Heidi. You helped me, and I didn't cut out your eyes. So we're even. Now go!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored, there will be consequences. The professor would treat him like she treated us!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored... You bore us! Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor would treat him like she treated us!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask if... You bore us! Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor would treat him like she treated us!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored, there will be consequences. You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor would treat him like she treated us!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored, there will be consequences. You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane. The professor would treat him like she treated us.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask. You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane. The professor would treat him like she treated us.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
Ask if you dare, but you bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane. The professor would treat him like she treated us.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask if you dare, but if I get bored, there will. You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane. The professor would treat him like she.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on.
You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man is insane.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask. You bore us. Look, Gerda, the man.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on. I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. Is there a way to get in?
Hell's Door? Never heard of it. You're so dull! Dull! Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor would treat him like she treated us!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity. I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. Is there a way to...
You're so dull! Dull! Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor...
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity on. I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. Is there...
You're so dull! Dull! Look, Gerda, the man is insane!
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask.
I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. Heidi, there are things I need some clarity.
Ask if you dare.
I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. Is... That's not true. You, Gerda, told me that Hell's Door makes people silent forever.
And you believe that snotty little girl? I'll personally ensure that she never dares to speak again! Your teeth will make a fine necklace. Look, Gerda, the man is insane! The professor would treat him like she treated him.
Heidi, there are things I need some clarity. I found Hell's Door, but it's locked. That's not true. You, Gerda, told me that Hell's... Professor Gygax hurt you repeatedly, scarred your body and mind. You are not protecting Hell's Door. You are simply afraid of the consequences were I to enter.
I could tap your teeth out with a hammer until you choked on the blood in bits.
You could, but then you would live the rest of your life in fear of Professor Gygax. I can make that feeling go away.
How?
I can stop her. But the key, Heidi, the key to Hell's Door is critical to stopping Professor Gygax. And I think you know where it is.
Tell him!
But you said...
And now I say tell him!
The professor... She has a special key. Keeps it close and only brings it down when new people go through. Behind those closed doors, those people start to sing. Oh, they sing in so much pain.
Gygax. Of course. Thank you, Gerda. Heidi. I must leave.
Leave? You joke. Nobody leaves the Edelweiss. Now you will be with us forever!
at last. You came to your senses.
My humble apologies, Emperor.
Spare me your groveling, Englishman.
Of course, you are right as ever, for you see, time is of the essence. The royalists have risen again, and your darling Josephine needs you. Paris needs you.
Mon amour.
But the guards upstairs in reception stand in your way.
Ha! They will pose no problem for the likes of me. Merci, Englishman. When I return to Les Tuileries, I shall make you a general.
Oh, you are too kind, Emperor. Now go. Your freedom awaits.
I am coming, Josephine. Josephine, le voilà. Catch him!
Psst. Watson. Over here.
Holmes? What are you doing here, and where did you get that outfit?
It is unimportant. I require your assistance.
What is happening, Holmes? I need an explanation.
It's quite simple. I created a distraction so that I could tell you something important, and in turn, I need you to acquire something important for me.
How can you call any of this charade simple?
Watson, we can discuss this later. Time is of the utmost importance. The kidnapped people may still be here. This is what I know so far.
What? You really found all this on your own?
Focus, Watson. I need you to find a key. It will be most unique. All the details are in my notes. Logic dictates that Gygax will keep it near her. Once acquired, you must get it to me. Perhaps the kitchen dumbwaiter could be of use.
Holmes, I can't do this. I'm no spy.
Yes, you can, Watson. You are unfailingly dependable.
Dr. Watson, visitors are not permitted back here.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kuntz. After the war, my nerves, I fled all that commotion.
It is nothing. A patient attempted to escape. He will not get far. Now, if you would like to follow me.
The only reason to hang something this harrowing here would be to create another patient. Blood in the water. Someone must have washed their hands here recently. What have we got ourselves into, Holmes? Perhaps I should take this. For all I hope it won't be needed. Did a child make these?
A visitor? No, you shouldn't have come here.
Miss?
I don't want to card block B tonight.
The photograph seems recent. A commemorative photo album. Been a while since I've been in one of these. Good lord, that's a lot of records.
I hope you're finding your room comfortable, Dr. Watson. Ah, Dr. Watson. Just the man I wanted to see.
Professor, I'm surprised you're not trying to catch that escapee.
Please, my time is far too valuable. I hope Nurse Kuntz has been taking good care of you.
He has certainly kept me out of trouble.
Professor, it is time for your appointment with your next patient, Mr. Wolf.
Herr Wolf can wait until tomorrow. I wish to speak with Dr. Watson.
As you wish.
You still see patients yourself, even as the director of this entire facility?
Only the important ones. And yet I rarely get to pick the brain of a man like yourself. I think it is time we got to know each other, no?
I'm afraid there's not much to know. I'm just an average chap living a rather prosaic life these days.
Dr. Watson, those of us who pursue knowledge are anything but average. Now, who are you?
In truth, I want to be a writer. Yet I often struggle to put pen to paper, to write anything that doesn't seem dull or hackneyed. So when I read about the Black Edelweiss and your work on the healing of minds, I simply had to learn more.
I suppose my Edelweiss was always destined to attract other curious minds. But before we continue, I want you to understand one thing. A broken mind can never be truly healed.
Ah, I see. So, what exactly do you do here?
It is simple. If you cannot fix a person's nature, you must force them to forget it.
Surely there are other methods of treatment.
How naive. You remind me of a man I once knew, Professor Becker. But we do not speak of him anymore.
A colleague?
The former director here. One day he realized that Edelweiss had outgrown him and had to leave. Do you grow weary of me already, Doctor?
How rude of me. I was absorbing your wise words, Professor, and must have got distracted.
Was my conversation boring you?
No, not at all. I merely...
No, I understand full well. You're not seeking conversation.
What do you mean?
It is obvious. Your mind craves truth, but not in this form. You must witness a practical demonstration if you are to learn.
I'm certainly intrigued. Would that be possible?
Of course. I propose a journey between the jury of the human brain. You will not leave without being truly enlightened. Kuntz, take Dr. Watson back to the courtyard. Then tell the nurses to prepare the operation room and the girl with the doll.
Yes, Professor.
Our preparations will take a little time. I will come for you soon, Doctor.
I hope everything is to your liking, Dr. Watson.
Did you hear that a patient escaped? All the guards rushed off to find him.
Looks dusty but functional.
Oh, we never use that. I think he connects somewhere downstairs.
You are Mr. Wolf, am I right?
Oh, hello. Who might you be?
My name is Dr. John Watson. I wanted to talk with you, if you didn't mind.
Ah, doctor. I don't suppose you could help. I seem to have forgotten where I am.
We're in the Black Edelweiss, Mr. Wolf. It's an asylum in Switzerland, and you are one of its most important patients.
But why am I here?
That's what I was about to ask you.
I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember anything.
It's all right. You don't need to push. Try to relax. Let the thoughts come and go. Now, what comes to mind? Mr. Wolf?
Oh, hello. Who might you be?
We just went over this.
I'm sorry, but I don't think we've met.
We were just discussing this facility, the Black Edelweiss Asylum, and why you are here.
That name does sound familiar.
Holmes, the things I do for you.
Excuse me, who are you? And who's this Holmes fellow?
I am Dr. Watson, and Holmes is, well, you could call him my imaginary friend. That's just a little joke, don't mind me.
But why am I here, Doctor? Am I sick?
I'm sure I can take a look. Gygax do to you?
Excuse me? Who are you?
Oh, never mind.
Excuse me, who are you?
I don't know why I keep doing this, expecting something different.
This area is off limits. A patient has escaped.
One of the patients there whispers to me all the time. He tells me such horrible things.
I hear them scratching. Don't you hear it?
Professor Gygax will have much to tell you.
I can't just leave Holmes here alone. Minor birds, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful creatures. How sad that they're caged here.
We rarely have visitors here. I wonder how Edelweiss compares to your clinics in England.
Hello again. You won't remember me, but we've met before. I am Dr. John Watson, and you are Professor Becker. You were the previous director of this facility, the Black Edelweiss.
Professor, really? Actually, that name does sound familiar. Wait. Let me write it down. I try to recall memories through writing, but they always feel just out of reach.
As a matter of fact, I have more for you to jot down.
Oh, yes. Yes, please, anything.
Professor Gygax did this to you. She made you forget everything, even who you are. But we will play a trick on her. We will write a letter so that she learns her lesson. Put down what I dictate. Dear Professor Gygax, your vile work has ruined countless lives through needless suffering. Your methods serve nothing but to show your own sick emotional state. You will be brought to justice, and the world will know your cruelty. And by the time you make it to my cell, the police will already know the truth of how you came to be director of this asylum. Signed, Professor Becker.
There. It's done. Now, hold on a minute. Who are you?
My name is John Watson. I'm a doctor from London, a veteran of Afghanistan, and I wish to be a writer, though deep down I fear I lack the talent. And presently I'm risking my life to help my brilliant detective flatmate in the pursuit of a cult of kidnappers, even as I fear it may destroy him. I'm tired and hungry, and I have not had a good bath in weeks, and yet despite it all, I feel alive. Any more questions?
Good heavens, sir. You're as mad as they come.
One of the patients asked me to deliver this note. It's for Professor Gygax.
Thank you, Doctor. Leave it with me.
A letter for you. Unbelievable. Kunz, with me.
Close, but I don't think this is the key. This is too small to be what Holmes asked for. An Edelweiss relief about 2 inches in diameter. This must be what Holmes was after. Nothing special about this.
Tooth of an adult male, likely lost in a beating. Only a couple of days old. The inside of the cuff is worn. It's been used often. A wax cylinder. There is something recorded on it. The writing is mostly gone. Phonetic symbols, perhaps. Sealed tight. I can't exit the same way. Looks as if it's been recently used.
Binglui Maglana Parkatulu, Rillier Wagnana Galpatagan. Binglui Maglana Parkatulu, Rillier Wagana Galpatagan. Binglui Maglana Parkatulu, Rillier Waglana Galpatagan. Binglui Maglana Parkatulu, Rillier Wagana Galpatagan.
Dynamo machine. Provides electrical stimulation for the person in the chair. Full-grain leather straps. Impossible to escape. A very professional brain dissection. Oh, the smell. Dear God, is that body parts? Judging by the remnants of blood and flesh, these instruments were used for dismemberment. Utterly inhuman.
Out of my head!
Your mind festers, devoid of soul. Find reverence for the one that trembled.
Great Lord!
Left your life. Surrender your soul and become a servant of madness.
Please! No more! Stop it! Watson! John! Somebody!
Wretched mortal, do not fear what is to come. Let him rupture our world anew. Awaken, and let the...
Awaken, and...
The light of the abyss is the light from the abyss. Get out of my head! hydraulic elevator. How ingenious. Watson?
Holmes?
What are you still doing here?
Still? I was trying to find more information. Did you think I was just going to sit in my room twiddling my thumbs?
I only asked you to find the key. I had everything else under control.
Says the man who looks like he saw a ghost.
I'm fine, Watson.
You're hardly fine. You reek of congealed blood and chemicals. What did you see down there?
Never mind me. Where's Gygax?
I'm afraid she's over there. I found her like that when I entered, on my word.
What? She was our biggest lead.
Yet another wrinkle in our investigation. What do we do now, Holmes?
Hush. Let me think. Heidi, how did it end up here? No traces of blood on her clothes. Must have got on her white overcoat. The pencil is buried deep all the way to the brain. Instant death. The patients here wear the same robes.
We'd better inform the local police about this.
You're right, Watson. But first, we need to determine where our case goes next. We've got what we needed, Watson. This conspiracy reaches further than we thought. I don't suppose you've ever been to New Orleans?
You are joking.
I seldom do. Let's go. There's no time to waste.
There's
is nothing in this world that cannot be explained with logic and reason. Nothing in this world.
Holmes?
Hmm?
You seem troubled.
I'm not troubled, Watson. I am preoccupied.
That place was awful. Inhumane. It would be natural to experience some feelings of shock or fear.
Men reduced to gibbering imbeciles, numbed beyond recognition, powerless to help themselves. When a doctor does go wrong, they are the first of criminals. They have the nerve and they have the knowledge.
That woman did not deserve the title. Such casual cruelty for such selfish aims.
I knew another man like that once. He treated my mother, perhaps even killed her, depending on who you ask.
My sincere condolences.
In the end, she was just a shadow of herself. The outline of the person I recognized, but lacking all else. She was pushed until she cracked. Should you see me cracking, John, I must ask you to intervene.
Nothing compels us to pursue this matter further, Sherlock. We can return to London, report what we have discovered. Let more capable hands take over.
Alas, there are no such hands. Were we to abandon our quest now, I fear no other would succeed in our stead.
We know nothing of what awaits, what dangers lurk in the darkness.
Nonsense. We draw nearer to New Orleans with every passing minute, and thus closer to the answers we seek. Those answers, for all their perversity and improbability, will, nevertheless, be the work of men. And that is a work I have studied well.
So be it.
I know you to be a diligent author, but if I may make one request. Kindly omit my mother and her suffering from your tale.
Of course.
Thank you, John.
Ah, Holmes. After our trip to nippy Switzerland, I can certainly use some of this New World heat.
Do not get carried away, Watson. What we could certainly use are answers to my questions.
I know, but you look exhausted. Why don't we find the hotel first?
We shall rest when our investigation is over, and not a moment sooner. I shall ask you to handle our bags while I search for the bank.
As you wish. Oi! Stop it, you! Our luggage! Good Lord, what have you done? That's my stuff.
I'm sorry, mister. It was an accident.
Ah, not an auspicious start, is it? Never mind, I'll handle it. You go on ahead.
Could you help me?
Oh, I know this. Yeah, let me help you.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Can't say I've ever heard about that.
Is this familiar to you?
That's not something I know, sir. Someone else might know more.
Where you at, gentlemen? Here to enjoy yourselves?
Excuse me, just one question.
Can't say I've heard about that.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, I've not heard about that. Sorry.
Can I ask you a question?
Don't be angry with me, sir, but I don't know.
Got a spot in mind?
Actually, I'm not sure yet. Is this familiar to you?
I'm sorry. You should search for answers somewhere else.
Help me, please.
I'd tell you if I knew, but unfortunately, I don't.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, mister. Can't help you. Ask someone else. Mr. Frank Barnaby, right? Auction's about to start.
In the flesh. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Well, hold up. Written invitation first.
Can I present another piece of identification?
Nope. That's why we send the invitation. Move along, mister. Ain't nothing... for you. Even mosquitoes know how to buzz off.
Holmes, over here. Any luck?
None. They're holding an auction, invitation only. The good news is, I know who might have one. We need to find Mr. Barnaby.
Who?
Frank Barnaby, most likely a local.
And you think Mr. Barnaby will be happy to share his invitation?
Let us first find him, then we can see if he is the generous type.
Go on, don't be shy. We have something for everyone.
America, Holmes. I never thought I should be so lucky as to visit.
May I ask you something?
Ah, I know this. Yeah, let me help you.
How marvelous, Holmes. A city within a city.
Indeed. Those lanterns are delightful. It is as though we have been transported to the Orient itself. Rather unassuming for a jewelry store.
Damn, he at it again. Barnaby still owes you. If he can't pay in greenbacks, he'll pay in blood.
Locked. No one's here. Help me, please.
Don't be angry with me, sir, but I don't know.
Is this familiar to you?
I'm sorry. You should search for answers somewhere else.
Help me, please.
Sorry, mister, can't help you. Ask someone else.
Is this familiar to you?
Don't be angry with me, sir, but I don't know.
Excuse me, just one question.
Don't remind me of anything. Someone else might help you better, sir.
Truly, a change of scenery does wonders for one's constitution. I feel invigorated.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, mister, I can't help you. Ask someone else.
Are you able to help me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
May I ask for your assistance?
No, never heard nothing.
Get lost, preferably in the bayou.
Help me, please.
No, first I've heard of it.
This place, there's a Spartan charm, does it not?
It does. My soul will always yearn for London's gloom, but it reminds me of Cordona in a nice way.
Yes, really not very happy with them. Awesome. Yeah.
May I ask you something?
No, first I've heard of it.
May I ask you something?
What makes you think I can be of any help?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, I've not heard about that, sorry.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
What makes you think I can be of any help?
Why not start with a drink and see where things take you?
Help me, please.
Sounds familiar, but no. Ask someone else.
The people here in New Orleans seem particularly friendly, don't you think?
Hey, you good?
Are you able to help me?
No, first I've heard of it.
Help me, please.
No, first I've heard of it.
May I ask you something?
I'm bone tired, but yeah, I'll help you.
Rather unassuming for a jewellery store. Barnaby, unconscious but with his eyes open. Look, Watson, the two of you are just alike.
Oh, great. So I look like a haggard alcoholic.
Eureka!
What have you got?
An idea. First, we'll need Mr. Barnaby's clothes.
Holmes.
Watson, time is of the essence. You will go to the bank, not as yourself, but as Frank Barnaby.
Holmes, we look nothing alike.
The hat and coat will do the heavy lifting. Just stay cool, play the part, and no one will notice the difference. Trust me.
Holmes, must we really indulge in this farce?
It worked in Switzerland, didn't it?
Sure, if you redefine the word worked.
Where's my cash, Frank? In the bartender's tip jar? Where's the money, Barnaby?
I'll wait here so as not to arouse suspicion.
Mr. Barnaby.
Right you are. Shop owner.
Right. Your invitation, sir?
Here you go.
You okay, sir? Seem to have the jumps.
I'm in a rush.
Come on in.
heavens, I never seen gems so big.
Sorry, I'm just dealing with another client's request. Please wait a moment.
This might be useful. I'll make a note. Can I ask you a question?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Morning, sir, and welcome to the E.W. Gray Banking House. The auction will begin shortly. Name's Zoe Clemens, and I'd be delighted to help you.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Clemens. I am Frank Barnaby. I do have some questions, if you don't mind. Forgive my curiosity, but who was the previous owner?
Sir, I ain't at liberty to disclose them details.
These gems are rather curious. What can you tell me about them?
These rare beauties are black opals, all the way from Coober Pedy, South Australia. When they catch the light, the dark stone becomes a brilliant rainbow. It's something special.
It doesn't say where these stones came from. No provenance, no previous owner. I'm starting to suspect they were illegally procured.
What? We would never. I can assure you these gems were bought from one of New Orleans' most upstanding citizens, a philanthropist no less. If you would like to know more, I could get my manager.
You old dog, Barnaby. Didn't think you'd sober up for the auction. An hour ago, you were 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, you know, I hold my liquor better than most. And the auction was an important business opportunity.
An important business opportunity? Ha! What have you done with the real Barnaby?
Well, maybe I'm drunker than I thought, mister.
Mister? What's wrong, Frank? You're looking pale. Don't you recognize your old pal, Grub?
Of course I know you, Sheriff.
Good. Now, while I have you, there's the matter of your outstanding fines. I've been more than reasonable, but I'm afraid the bills come due.
Fines? Right. I'm afraid I don't have anything on me.
That's funny. Ain't you at the auction? I weren't born yesterday, Frank. Now, assault, battery, disorderly conduct, that's serious stuff. You got off easy, but if you don't pay up, things get a whole lot worse.
Look, Sheriff, I'm not actually...
Whoa. Think careful now, 'cause Frank Barnaby only owes us cash. But fraud, impersonation, that's weasel behavior. And you know what we do to weasels round these parts. Feed 'em to the gators. So, Frank, what's it gonna be?
Here's all I have.
Mighty fine of you. The people of this parish deserve peace. They don't take kindly to visitors. Don't miss that boat tomorrow morning, Doctor.
Don't want to be rude, but even the man upstairs can smell you.
I told you, Holmes. I told you it was a bad plan. Now we're penniless and wanted criminals.
Hysteria gets us nowhere, Watson. Tell me what happened.
The sheriff saw right through me. He knew who I was from the start. Extorted me for every coin I had.
Bah, all that matters is what you learned about the gems.
I shan't discuss it while still wearing that blighter's clothes. I'm going back to the boat to get changed.
Always a pleasure to see you regular, Mr. Barnaby. Welcome home.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm so sorry. I can't be of help.
Excuse me, just one question.
It isn't possible for me to help you. I'm sorry.
May I ask you something?
No, I've never heard of it. But I can help you with something else.
I think the look actually compliments you. Why bother changing it?
May I ask for your assistance?
That's not something I know, sir. Someone else might know more.
Is that the sort of thing? I don't know. You love your face.
A pox on the crew. A pox on the crew.
No. No! Was that your luggage again? I don't understand. We just got it back in order.
Forget the sheriff. I'm sure it was simply bluster and bloviation.
Oh, bollocks, now our clothes are in the bloomin' water.
It was like the luggage had legs of its own. Oh, Mr. Pratchett will have my head.
I ain't sure what you did to the sheriff, but it must have been something real hairy to have him chuck your luggage off the pier.
With respect, miss, have we met before?
If you were the real Frank Barnaby, yeah, we would have. But where are my manners? I'm Lucy. And you are?
John, I didn't mean to be rude. I've just had a difficult day, miss.
Well, it's barely noon. And you've already made an enemy in Sheriff Grubb. The man starves his gators just in case someone crosses him. John who?
Watson.
Well, Johnny, if you plan on sticking around, you better change that suit, or Frank's reputation will catch up with you. And then you'll be a John Doe.
Alas, I think one of those gators is currently devouring my spare clothes.
You've got yourself in a fine pickle. All right, come on board the Nymph of Louisiana, and I'll sort you something to wear.
The nymph? Is that what it sounds like? Why are you helping me?
Well, let's just say you ain't the only one who's had run-ins with the sheriff. Way I see it, this city deserves better. Now quit your stalling and head on over to the Nymph. I'll be in room 6.
This Mr. Barnaby is proving rather useful. Perhaps you're not so different after all.
One more word, Holmes, and I'll hand you over to the sheriff.
Sorry, was that John talking or Frank?
Oh, go annoy someone else while I visit the nymph.
Perhaps you'd like someone new today, Frank. How about Miss Trixie or Joni?
Well, look at you. All dressed up with nowhere to go.
I can't thank you enough. As I was saying, our journey has hardly gone to plan. We seem no closer to finding our missing people than when we left.
Well, if there were anything to know, Champagne will know it. She's across everything in New Orleans. Look for her in the fisherman's village behind the Creole Quarter.
Thank you again, Lucy. I shall make my way there now.
Good luck, Johnny. Keep out of trouble.
Ah, forgive me, Watson. The difference is plain as day. What a remarkable transformation from Barnaby.
If we're critiquing wardrobes, Holmes, maybe you can explain why you used to roll just one sleeve up. Did you get bored halfway through?
May I ask for your assistance?
I'm bone tired, but yeah, I'll help you.
Tocqueville? Lafayette! Hush now. No offense, Cher. Them two don't take kindly to gents. Especially foreigners. How can Champagne help you? Trip to the bayou? Feeding a huge crocodile?
Some other time, perhaps. Word has it you know everything that goes on round these parts.
Maybe. Maybe not. What you want to know?
The bank in town recently purchased a valuable collection of gemstones from a wealthy man. What do you know of it?
Sure. I hear everything. This time I tell you for free. Next time, you pay.
Thank you.
May have been 1, 2 weeks ago. Rich man's butler sold him some black opals.
And this rich man is?
Don't know his name, only that he from the French Quarter. Folk back in town could take you there. That's all I know. You need a boat? I hire 'em out for dollars. Or a bottle of you-know-what.
Thank you for the offer and the help.
Careful. Nolans may look welcoming, but not every smile is friendly.
I feel much better in this suit, even if it is not mine.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I've heard talk.
Very good. Oh, yeah.
French Quarter, and get us there fast. You know, Watson, the opulent mansions and stifling heat remind me of my time in the Mediterranean.
Corona does sound rather magical. Do you think you shall ever return?
I don't know. That place was home to some of my greatest memories and some of my lowest moments. Can I ask you a question?
I'm bone tired. But yeah, I'll help you.
Help me, please.
Don't remind me of anything. Someone else might help you better, sir.
Yeah, just something I really don't want anyone to do again.
Are you able to help me?
I'm so sorry. I can't be of help.
Yeah,
Lord, help me.
No way in. Excuse me, miss. Are you all right? What is your name?
Eula, sir.
Waiting for someone, Eula?
Yes, sir. My brother Davy. He works for Mr. Arneson in that mansion yonder. Been 5 days now since I last heard from him.
Come now, why all the tears?
Something happened to Davy. I feel it in my bones.
Do you think he may have left the premises?
No, sir. Davy, he ain't like you and me. He's smart in some ways, but he can't talk. Not a word. He's pure and kind.
Fear not. We will look for your brother. One presumes this gate is locked. Is there any other way inside?
There's another entrance through the stables you could try. That's where I meet Davy normally, but I couldn't get in. See, I couldn't find the key. It wasn't in its usual spot. Please hurry, sir. Find him for me.
I rather wish my lockpicks had not been lost in the river.
Along with all our clothes, books, tea.
This must be the key to the stables. Poor animal has been suffering for days.
It's dehydrated, Holmes. Without water, it will die.
Poor animal has been suffering for days. Mr. Arneson's cab is still here. Cayenne pepper. Half empty. Or as Watson would say, half full. Poor animal has been suffering for days. This might be useful.
At least that's one life saved.
You did it. You're inside? Have you seen Davy?
Not yet, miss, but we are on it.
Please look for my little brother. Sir, if you find Davy, please come tell me.
No way in. Size 10, the owner's footprints were shallow. Size 10, the heels are sinking into the ground. Look here, Doctor. 2 sets of footprints left by the same person, yet they vary in depth. What do you conclude?
Perhaps they arrived empty-handed, but left carrying something heavy.
Precisely. We'll make a detective of you yet, Watson. There's blood here. There's blood here.
Ah, do you smell that, Holmes? Something bad happened here.
I know. Be prepared for anything. Watson, would you please lend me your medical expertise?
I'll do my best. An enormous blow shattered her ribcage. Blooded, broken nails. The poor woman tried to put up a fight. Extremely sharp and deadly. A wound like this could only be dealt by a man of incredible strength.
And cruelty. Tea for two. An odd glimpse of normalcy amid the horror. A used kitchen towel. Why does it look so familiar? I will need your help one more time, Doctor.
A deep stab reached the man's heart. Clean edges suggest a sharp blade, but the wound is too wide for an ordinary knife. The hand can bend freely. Rigor mortis has passed. His corneas are already clouded. Hay on his trousers suggests a gardener or groom. This man has been dead for a week, the result of a sharp object piercing his heart.
You are mostly right. But I would bet he died 5 days ago. Heat and humidity will have accelerated the decomposition. Mr. Arneson with his prey. Burnt papers, now completely unreadable. The bent end of this candlestick has blood on it. Someone was bleeding, but it doesn't look lethal. The candle was burning when it fell. Someone smaller walked over these boot prints. A trail of wax leads to the door. A few drops of blood, but not from a mortal wound. Arneson and Davy seem to have got along well. He looks more like a son than a servant. Arneson and Davy, 1881. Fauna of Louisiana. Full of things that bite, no doubt. New Pied Piper. Foreigners missing in New Orleans. Note the blade, Watson.
A curved dagger, probably of Persian or Indian origin. 9 or 10 inches, I'd say. What I wouldn't give for a nice bath right now, Holmes.
A dull book about local geology. Even I'd struggle. A dashing portrait of Mr. Arneson. intruder entered through the back door at night, leaving mud traces in the hallway. Without being noticed, they picked up a candlestick and struck the man in the chair from behind. In the kitchen, 2 people were drinking tea, the workman and cook. They were startled by the noise of a falling body and went to investigate the parlor. The workman tried to subdue the intruder, but was stabbed by the attacker's knife. Judging by the wound, it was a curved blade. The cook panicked and fled back to the kitchen. The intruder followed, but since their blade was stuck in the workman, they used the meat cleaver on the table to kill her. Someone smaller arrived and discovered the carnage. They dropped the candlestick in horror and ran for safety to a room down the hallway. Meanwhile, the intruder returned to his first victim and dragged their stunned body away from the fireplace and out into the garden. More boot prints. Davy, please open the door.
After all this, Holmes, I doubt the young man would open the door to a stranger.
Davy, please open the door. Davy, please open the door. These fingers were severed with a single clean stroke, but I don't see the thumb or middle finger. Luxurious shoes, size 9. Look, Watson. Animal prints. I wonder what kind. Boots. Size 10. A scrap of silk, soft and elegant.
What horrors happened here?